Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 40. I got it wrong last week. Last week I said 44. I'm pretty sure though that today is fucking 44. So welcome to episode 44 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast, aka the most expensive podcast in Australia, running at the most extreme of losses because all the shit I was talking about last week. Oh, by the way, I wanted to thank all of the people who jumped on to support the show on Patreon after I talked about how much money it's going to cost me to run now. I really do appreciate it. That makes such a big difference. Like, it still running at a very high loss, but you know, every little bit does help. And I've been looking into solutions for it. If you don't know what's happened, sorry, I'm just taking my jacket off. If you don't know what's happened, a quick recap is basically because podcasts need to be downloaded from a host. iTunes doesn't host them. iTunes just gives your computer or your phone the link to automatically download it. The where it's actually downloaded from is my podcast host, so my server. And I pay them what used to be $10 a month, and now it's because so many of you guys have been downloading it and it's getting popular. Basically, it's just gotten too expensive for the host to host the podcast without charging me more money. So, you know, they charge me an extra 10 cents a gig, which doesn't sound like much. I was like, oh yeah, 10 cents a gig, that's fucking nothing, is it? And then I got the bill. I was like, holy fuck. So I discussed a few solutions last week. One of the solutions was you guys killing each other. And I'm very disappointed to say that I haven't heard of any of you going out there and killing each other. Because I figured if half of you were just dead, you know, the podcast could go back to normal. I wouldn't be paying fuckloads of money anymore. And then as you know, the podcast grew in size again, we could just hold another cull, like an annual cull, where half of you kill the other half and only the fittest survive. But you guys are a bunch of pussies. Because you're not going to go out there and murder each other because some fuckhead told you to because he can't afford his podcast host. So I've been looking into solutions for that. Also, I hate Podbean so much, guys. Podbean was my old host. You know, the shit one that used to delete episodes all the time and replace them with old audio. They're still charging me. I haven't used their service for 6 months. They're still charging me. I've cancelled their fucking service. I just looked in a couple days ago. The cunts are still charging me $10 a month. I swear to God, these fucking companies are just so horse shit. You know, I was thinking about it. I bet that there are hundreds of customers. There'd be fucking hundreds of thousands of people who are paying for shit that they don't even use anymore, that they don't even know that they're being charged for it. Like, how often do you check your bank statements? Never. I only noticed because PayPal, it came out of my PayPal and PayPal sent me a notification. You just paid $10 to Podbean. Really? Because I'm not using their fucking service and I cancelled it, so I'm going to have to call those cunts and yell at them. But I was thinking about it, how you guys should go through your statements. I bet you're going to find at least 2 services that you're paying for, but you don't use or you cancelled a while ago. And I bet all these companies, they could go through their systems and figure out who shouldn't be paying for shit. But why would you? Why the fuck would you do that? It's just free money. It's like Netflix. I'm paying for Netflix. I never fucking watch it. I've got 4 people on my Netflix account and I never watch it and I'm paying for it. It's fucking horse shit. I do feel like a really good guy, but I also fucking hate everybody using my account because then I remember talking about it with my girl. Oh, we'll pay half. I'll pay half and you pay half. We'll just set it to come out of your credit card and then, you know, I'll send you $7 every month. No, you won't. She fucking hasn't either. And you know what? I can't even get angry at her because I 100% know if the money was coming out of her credit card, I'd probably remember to send her $7 a month twice, and then that's fucking it. That'd be it. I'd forget, and then she'd just get bored of reminding me, because that's exactly what happened with me. She's supposed to pay for half the Netflix account, and she keeps forgetting to send me the money, and I can't be fucked telling her every month, because I know she's not doing it on purpose. So I don't tell her, and I'm the one paying for it, and she's the one who watches all her fucking shit weirdo indie movies, right? The fucking indie movies where an average-looking guy fucks an average-looking girl, and then, you know, one of them dies, and there's a sad ending, and they go, wow, that's so fucking indie. That's just such a masterpiece. I never would have expected the main character to die in an indie film. Are you kidding me? That's what happens in every fucking indie film. That's the only... It's got nothing to do with budget, right? Absolutely nothing, right? The difference between a mainstream film and an independent film is the main character in an independent film dies and it's a sad ending. That's the only difference. Right? When they were making Transformers, if, what's her name? The one with the nice tits and the fucking weird thumbs. Looks like she's been playing, fucking Nintendo for 10 years, trapped in a dungeon, mashing her thumbs against the controller. And the controller's broken, so she had to push really hard against the buttons just to make them work, because if she loses this game of Mario Kart, they're going to lock her away for another 10 years. So she just really mashes her thumbs into the controller and they get all fucked up and deformed. Oh, what's her name? Chum. The one with the chums. Oh, Megan Fox. Yeah, that's her name. Fucking look her up. Check out her thumbs. She's not a 10 out of 10 anymore, right? If at the end of the Transformers they were like, oh, let's kill her. Doesn't matter how many millions of dollars was on the budget of that film. That's an indie film now. You know what's funny about the whole Megan Fox? This is one of my favorite stories about Showbiz, right? Just how replaceable she is. I remember, because she was in what, like 2 or 3 Transformers movies, just being like incredibly unattainably hot. Like everyone would look at her and go, that's the hottest girl I've ever seen. I'm never going to fuck her, right? You could never ever picture a hotter girl than Megan Fox in her prime. And they were shooting Transformers. I think they were about to shoot the 3rd one or the 4th one, and she got on Twitter or something. This is all wrong. I mean, the main... all the details in this story, if you research it, I'm probably way fucking off. But the feelings... The general gist of what's happening is basically correct, okay? So she got on Twitter or whatever the point is, they were about to shoot one of the movies. She was about to be in it, and then she talked a whole bunch of shit about the director, right? The guy that was, you know, fucking running the whole show, the boss. She talked shit about the boss, the guy who, without him, the show doesn't happen, right? So she talked shit about him. And she did that because she was like, you know what? I've been in 2 movies now as one of the main love interests. I'm such an irreplaceable character that I can do whatever the fuck I want. Typical hot girl shit, right? I'm so hot, I can just be a cunt and dudes are gonna put up with it. And then you know what? The director just went, yeah, how about this, Megan? How about fuck you? You're not getting cast in the new movie. How about that? Why don't you fuck off with your nice tits and your fucked up thumb? And you can talk shit about me over there because you're not in Transformers 3. And then everyone freaked out. Oh my God, he got rid of Megan Fox. What are they going to do with the Transformers movies? How are they going to... who's the hot girl going to be? There's no one hotter than Megan Fox. And then fucking wham, within a month, they had a girl who was twice as hot as Megan Fox. Completely fucking replaced her. And that really just made me laugh. That was just fucking payback for all of those stupidly hot girls who are just cunts and they get away with it because they're hot. And you know what? There's always someone hotter than you. Always. There will always be someone hotter than you. Like, you, seriously, look at Megan Fox. I'm going to look it up. Megan Fox. And then I'm going to look up. The girl, the new Transformers girl is so hot that my memory has been erased. I don't even know her name. Transformers girl. Transformers 4 girl. What's her name? Having a look here. Nicola Peltz. Oh, she's a fucking artwork, man. It's like the film version. Yeah, I don't even have a reference for how hot this girl. I don't have a comparison, right? It's all I can say. The only thing I can say is like she's like the hotter version of Megan Fox because that's what she is. And there's always a hotter person out there, and that just made me laugh because it was just typical hot girl being an asshole because she's hot and thinks she can get away with it, and then old mate just comes and goes, "Yeah, nah, fuck you. I just found this girl just turned 18, so I'm allowed to sexualize her in a movie. Get out of my movie. You fucking Nintendo thumb troll." What the fuck was I talking about? How did I get on the Transformers? Okay, so it was like, I was talking about hot girls. Let's retrace our steps. Hot girls, Transformers, Megan Fox, indie films, Netflix services. Oh, money. That's right. The fucking podcast. All right. So I got a whole bunch of suggestions from you guys about what I can do with the podcast. Because basically, right, as this gets more popular, the more expensive it will become. And I can see it becoming just unmanageable. Like right now, it's operating at a huge loss, but it is something that I can handle. But if it keeps growing at this rate, it's seriously gonna get out of control. Like it'll start costing. Right now, it's hundreds of dollars a month, which is fucking a lot of money. Like for me anyway. But if it keeps going at this rate, like by next year, even if the podcast doesn't grow in popularity that much, just by virtue of how many episodes are being added every week, it'll end up costing thousands. And I definitely can't afford thousands of dollars a month. Even if like I'd fucking doubled my income, I wouldn't be able to afford that. So, basically the solutions that I can see is Patreon would probably need to double by next year, which might happen. I don't know. But I don't want to count on that, you know. Or this is something that I think would work that I've noticed other big podcasts do, but I really don't want to do it. Is what I would have to do is delete all of the old episodes of the podcast. Because basically what that would do is make it so nobody could go back and because, you know, if I do this where I listen to a new episode and I'm like, oh fuck, I wonder what episode 1 was like. And then I go all the way back and I watch that and then I start from the bottom and go to the top if I find a new podcast. And I know a lot of people are doing that with mine. And so I could delete all of them and just show like the most recent 10 episodes is what I could do, because I think that's what Bill Burr does with his podcast. I think Joe Rogan does that with his as well, where they just delete the old ones. But I really don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because, it's like deleting history. This podcast is like a fucking diary that I would like to keep going for 10 years so that, if I'm really successful, some 15-year-old kid can go and listen to me when I was broke as fuck. Or if I become really successful and then I completely fail, when I hit rock bottom, some 15-year-old can listen to the decline of my career weekly and be inspired. Fuck, not going to do that. Learn from it. But yeah, I think that'd be a last resort. So either the Patreon doubles or I don't know. Otherwise, what I could do is hold like another live podcast, like a bigger one, to pay for the server. I don't know. That's a thing that could happen. But as I said, right now for me, it's manageable. So this is stuff that would happen way down the track. So I had a few suggestions as well that I can make the file size of my podcast smaller for future when I upload them. So that's what I'll also do. If anybody else has any suggestions as well, it's kind of a hard thing to research because there really aren't that many popular podcasts out there, and the ones that don't really talk about money because it's a fucking, it's a weird thing to talk about. I feel weird talking about it now. But yeah, so those are the solutions that I've got. So Patreon could double, or I could delete all of the old episodes, or I could do live fundraising things. That's kind of about it, really. If I was to delete all of the old episodes, they would still be on YouTube. But, you know, that's not a permanent thing either. That could YouTube could crash in 10 years. I don't know what I'm going to do. So basically, that's what I'm saying. I got no idea what I'm going to do. Right now, it's manageable. This time next year, it'll probably won't be. So we'll see. Also, another solution I forgot. I could get a whole bunch of new advertisers. But that's not going very well. I've emailed so many people. Oh, they don't want anything to do with me. All right, so what else has been happening this week? Did you guys this probably, I think it only really happened in Melbourne, but did you guys experience the fucking asthma shit that happened? So basically what happened is I've got asthma for ever since I was born. It's quite bad. I stay on top of it now, but I got to take a preventer, and I got to have my inhaler with me everywhere, and my inhaler and all that kind of. I've got asthma, all that kind of shit. You know, like if the weather changes from whatever it has been for a while, if it changes to like really cold or really hot too quickly, sometimes I just can't get out of bed because I can't breathe. I don't know why, but that's, you know, how it is. But what happened this week, right, was there was this weird phenomenon that scientists didn't know what to call it, where basically thousands of people in Melbourne started to have asthma attacks, and their breathing locked up and their lungs started to close out. The ambulance service actually got overwhelmed. There were too many calls for ambulances for them to handle. They've never experienced that ever before. And thousands of people were just having asthma attacks that have no history with asthma. Quite a few people died. A lot of people were close to dying. For some reason, I was completely unaffected by this. I don't know why. Normally, I would have been one of the ones that was fucking dead, waiting for an ambulance, turning purple, going, "Where are they? We're helping 300 other people. We're almost there." Meanwhile, I'm fucking fading away into the darkness. But I had my inhaler on me. I had to let 3 people use it. 3 different people use my inhaler because they just started having asthma attacks that they've never experienced before. Anyway, the day after this, let me pull up the news article of what happened. Asthma Melbourne. Basically, what happened was, thunderstorm asthma. All right, so 4 people have died from it. What happened, I'm reading this now, is there was a thunderstorm and there was a whole bunch of pollen in the air blowing around, and because of the changes in temperature and humidity and lightning and static or whatever the fuck happened, all of the pollen exploded in the air, and we breathed it in and started to have asthma attacks. So there was like this perfect storm of pollen, you know, thunderstorm, static, humidity, temperature, all working together to kill us. Animals were unaffected. I think that was Mother Earth trying to get rid of us because we are fucking her up. I reckon we're going to see more of this, and you know what? We deserve it. We need more of this shit, I say. We need more unexplainable events that just kill off a whole bunch of people for no reason. Because, right, and it shouldn't be an earthquake, because an earthquake, you know, that destroys infrastructure. It should be shit in the air that just kills people out of nowhere. Like, we need a new plague, because, right, if a dude comes in and starts killing people, you know, like Hitler did, that's really sad. That's a terrible event in our history. But you look at shit like the Black Plague, nobody gets blamed for that shit. It's just a thing that happened. And then it thinned out the population, and then we built it back up, and now we need another one. You know what I'm saying? We need another fucking Black Plague. We don't need another Hitler, because that's really sad. That makes people talk about it. We got to learn about it in history, and we're like, wow, humans are horrible beings, and we'll never forget it. But the Black Plague, you can't blame anyone for it. That's what I'm saying. We need one of those, because it'd just be hundreds of thousands. Realistically, you need millions, right? It'd be millions of people just dying for no reason and no one's to blame. I reckon it'd make the world a better place. You'd be like, fuck, could die any day. You know, the Black Plague's back. I could die tomorrow. I'm going to go and be nice. That's where bless you came from. How nice is that? How nice is that when someone, like, that's just manners. The Black Plague, when you really think about it, the only lasting effect on society it had was a really positive one. Now when we sneeze, strangers go, bless you. And you go, oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you care about my health. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know? No one gives a fuck about all the millions of people that died. Not now, I mean. Right? If the Black Plague happened instead of the Holocaust, we wouldn't give a fuck about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we really care about all the people that died during the Holocaust because it was a horrible thing that a human did. But if it's just the planet killing us, what are you going to do? Who gives a fuck? Like, because it's just, there's nobody to blame. Nobody would be reading. What I'm saying is, Anne Frank's book would not be a bestseller if she was talking about hiding from the Black Plague. No one would give a fuck. But yes, it's the plague. What are you going to do? Write about it? Fucking pussy. Who cares? Get over it. But because, you know, Hitler did it, everyone's like, oh, Anne Frank, it's a wonderful book. It's a diary and it's really tragic because she never finished it. Same shit. Replace the fucking, you know, the Gestapo with the Black Plague. No one would have gave a fuck about about Anne Frank. And, you know it's true. Don't pull back on me. Don't get all fucking offended and PC about it. You know it's fucking true. And here's another, because we don't care about shit after 3 days. Like, unless it's a truly horrible thing where people die, we don't care about anything for 3 days. Have you heard a single person complain about Donald Trump recently? No. You fucking haven't. You've seen news outlets post about him, but you haven't seen your friends talk about him. You haven't seen actual people talk about him. We did that for 3 days when 3 days before the election, everyone cared. And then 3 days after the election, everybody hated him. And now, no one gives a fuck because we can't change it. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? No one does. You get I reckon, out of humans, you get 3 days of outrage. 3 days of caring. Same shit happened to me with the vegan video. We're going to kill you, mate. You hate animals. We're going to come to your house and fucking kill you. 3 days later, everyone's like, even the people who liked the video didn't give a fuck about me anymore. 2 million people saw it. Do you think 2 million people came back after 4 days to see my next video? No. No fucking way. It's very hard to get people to give a fuck about stuff. I don't care about anything. Even this podcast sending me to bankruptcy, I don't give a fuck. It's funny. I freaked out for 3 days and then I got over it. I was like, I don't even want to talk about it now. I'm only talking about it now so I can make some of you guys care enough, like from 3 days from now, within these 3 days to jump on Patreon. But other than that, who gives a fuck? So that's what we need. We need more plagues, man. Because really, think about it. Imagine if that, because I reckon that was just Earth just kind of testing it out, warming up, doing her stretches. It was like, oh yeah, like figuring out our weakness. She tried earthquakes and then we were like, hey, check this out. I just built an earthquake-proof tower that sways with the Earth. And the Mother Earth was like, well, fuck. How about this? And she was like, just a flood. And then we were like, can't, get us with a flood. That happened in Asia. Do you know how many people live there? Too many for a flood to kill. They threw it. Mother Earth threw the biggest tsunami the world has ever seen straight at Asia, and they didn't even fucking feel it. It'd be like Mike Tyson throwing his hardest punch at a cliff. Like, if that punch hit a human, they'd be knocked out. But the cliff was like, it didn't hurt me at all, mate. I'm too fucking big. That's what happened when the tsunami hit Thailand or wherever the fuck it happened. They were like, so many people died and people cared about it for 3 weeks. And they were like, we've got so many, it doesn't even matter. All it takes is 1/3 of our population to have sex once and we've already doubled what we lost. Bring it on, Mother Earth. We fuck faster than you can kill. So she was like, all right, well, earthquakes are out, tsunamis are out. I'll try another earthquake on New Zealand, and then fucking there's not enough people in New Zealand, so that was just a waste of time, really. And then she was like, all right, how about this? I'm gonna get all of the pollen to mix with the fucking lightning and then put it into your lungs. And then the whole world just stopped. All of Melbourne freaked the fuck out. Everyone started to die. The ambulances were overwhelmed. And Mother Earth has gone, right, now I'm onto something here, right? You cunts keep killing all of my bees and, destroying the earth to dig up your oil that really you don't even need anymore, and it's unsustainable and it hurts my ozone layer. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fuck with your lungs. That was just a warm-up. I'm telling you guys, man, it's going to happen. And you know what? If it does happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the train the day after, and I'm going to just step onto the train, and there'll be 3 places where I can sit. And I'll be like, yeah, you know what? It's fucking worth it. I got my pick of the seat on the train. I don't give a fuck. And you know what about all of these? I'm so stupid. Me, the chronic asthma patient, assuming that I'm not going to be one of the first ones to drop and fucking die, right? Dickhead. I'll be the first one out the door. I'll step out the door and just start going, and I'll be fucking dead. I won't even get to sit on that. I'll be the one who leaves the space free. I'm not going to get to sit on that empty train seat. I'll get to sit on one of the stretchers, like the homemade stretchers, because they've run out of stretchers because so many people fucking died. They'll have to cremate me, and then Mother Earth will be like, yeah, round 2, and then everyone will start breathing in my ashes that are infected with pollen. More people will start to drop. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And you know what? Everyone, whenever you talk about the population needing to be killed off, everyone agrees. And you know why? Because no one actually thinks that they are included in that number. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's like, we need to thin the population. And 100% of the people will go, yeah, let's thin the population. What do you mean me? No, not me. Take my kids. Here's the thing. Would you actually sacrifice your life for your kids? Would you? I suppose I don't have kids, so because right now I'm gonna tell you straight up, no fucking way. I'm not gonna sacrifice my life. I can have another kid. I can't recreate myself, right? I can't throw myself under a bus and then, get my kid to reassemble me, and then I'll come back and be like, yeah, don't play on the road, dickhead. Or your father will get crushed. Now I got a limp, fuckhead. No way. I'll just have another kid. I don't care. I mean, they're not like a limited resource, are they? It's not like it's not like gold, where if I had a really nice gold chain on and then it broke and fell down the gutter, I'd be shattered. I'd be like, fuck, it cost me so much money and I can't get it back. It's just gone. But a kid, if I was walking down the street holding my 2-year-old's hand, he slips down the drain and starts to drown, I'll be like, nah, I don't want to get my feet wet. These are new shoes. Fuck him. Is that unreasonable? Do you think I'm being ridiculous? Let me know. Now look, I think that if I actually was a father, my opinion would change, because I think everybody's does, because here's the thing. All these cunts who talk about, that's just nurture. That's not nature. When people are like, usually men choose more dangerous jobs because that's just genetically how we've been living for millions and millions of years, because they're the hunters, and then the women generally choose, jobs to do with nurturing and learning and teaching, because that's how they evolved. That's how we evolved together. And that's why there's, a wage gap. It just kind of makes sense. They choose the lower paying, less dangerous jobs, or they work less so they can look after kids, because that's just, how it is. And all these cunts with their pink hair and hairy armpits come in and go, no, that's just the culture. That's just a fucking culture. Yeah? You have a child, and I guarantee you something in your brain is going to flip. And it's going to go from, I want to liberate, I want to smash it's going to change from, I want to smash the patriarchy, and then completely flip into, I don't give a fuck, I just want to make sure my kid, lives till tomorrow. Because that's what our brains do to us. The chemicals flip because that's how we were supposed to evolve. This has been such a rambling fucking podcast, hasn't it? All right, shall we, we should do miscellaneous bit at the end in a sec. I want to tell you about this gig that I did last week. I did a stand-up gig, I did it in the middle of the city. It was in the middle of the city at a nightclub before the nightclub opened. So the nightclub doesn't open till like 9 p.m. So let's just have stand-up comedy beforehand, and that way we can have patrons in there before we have to do anything actually cool. So performing in this nightclub, and then next door, it's like a nightclub, but it's held in a bar that has multiple different rooms and function rooms. And right next to where we were performing, there was like a male strip show going on. And male strip shows are so weird because there really are no male strip clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like there's female strip clubs because men are disgusting, and they'll be like, yeah, let's just go to a strip club because I feel like it. I just want to see some tits. I just want to exploit a woman's daddy issues and then go home and think about it while I rub one out in the shower. That's what men are like. But women men are disgusting all of the time, but it's like a much lower level of disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Like women, they keep it pent up and you don't know about it, and they don't let themselves experience it. But then on special occasions, they are the absolute tip top of filth. like a normal, wholesome, ew, yuck, a penis, ew, gross. That kind of girl. She'll never even look twice at a dick. But the moment she finishes high school and takes a gap year to Europe, next thing you know, she's in a backpackers while 10 dudes who don't even speak English are just running a train on her. Because she, you know what that is? She's left her reputation at home. And she can be a total whore in a different country. And it doesn't fucking matter. No one's going to remember this. I'm traveling. I remember I was in New Zealand, and there was like this German backpacker, and she was with a mate of mine. Like they had just come out of the bedroom, and then we were talking, and I spoke a little bit of German. I still do. It's much worse now because this is back in like 2012 when I was doing it in high school. But I was talking a little bit in German with her, and basically she invites me to the bedroom straight after she roots this dude. And I just looked at her and I was like, you know what? There's no way she does this at home. No fucking way. I am in New Zealand and I'm just going to be ein whore for a little bit because my reputation is at home and no one's here to judge me. And you know what? Fucking good on her. I'm not here to judge her. I mean, I don't understand that shit. See, men don't do that because we just keep it at like a healthy level of disgusting all throughout our lives until our dick stops working. And that's when we just start being cunts. When you're like 80 years old. That's why there's so many asshole dudes. But women, they keep it pent up until special occasions, right? So they'll go on a gap year after completing uni or high school, and they'll just go and slut it up, right? More power to them. Who cares? Or hens nights, right? Male strip shows. I've been to a male strip show because Elliot Loney was emceeing one. He wasn't stripping. He was like on stage going, ladies, do you want to see a hard cock? Bring on the stage fucking the fireman. And then all the girls go, ah! Right? I've been around men, disgusting dudes, my whole life. And I have never in my life seen that level of depravity that I saw from those regular women that were just celebrating a special occasion, which was their friend was getting married the next week, right? It was all hens parties. That's when they really started up, on special occasions. It's my birthday. I'm going to fuck whoever I want. Or I'm on a gap year. I'm going to fuck 10 French backpackers in a hotel filled with 3 other dudes that are asleep. Or it's a hen's night. I'm going to grab the cock of a male stripper, right? And it's absolutely deplorable behavior. I've never seen, you know what? When I went to that male strip show, right? I don't think ever in my life I could ever let someone I was dating go to one of those things, because you know how, do you understand how many fucking brides-to-be I saw cheat on their husbands? It was fucking horrible. It really, I had to sit down. Right, it was like it was about an audience of about 200 women, and at least 1 in 5 was a bridesmaid, right? Because that's why they were there. It was a bridesmaid. They go to the strippers and they get married the next week, and they lie to their husbands. No, honey, I didn't have any cock in my mouth, right? I after I saw that shit, because here's the difference, right? Men are predictable. This is the difference between male strip clubs and male strippers and female strippers. No, this is the difference between men who go to strip clubs and women who go to strip clubs. That's what I'm saying, right? So men are predictable, okay? Because we operate at a consistent level of fucking gross and objectifying. So everybody can go, yeah, you know what? We can pretty much predict that a man is going to try and put his finger in, you know, a girl's pussy, so while she gives him a lap dance and they're alone in a room. So you know what? How about we'll just do a no touching rule across the board, and anyone who touches the girl gets kicked out. Fair enough? Yeah, fair enough. And then the girls are like, yeah, I feel pretty safe with that, because the female strippers, they're not celebrating anything. They don't operate on that level of disgusting. They're just like normal girls. They only unleash the whore when they go backpacking or when they go on a gap year. When they're stripping, they're not being whores. They're just exploiting dickhead men for money, right? They're fucking smarter than us, okay? But women, when they go to strip clubs, there's no way you could ever predict the deplorable behavior that's going to come out of them. And the problem is, the male strippers are at that constant level of disgusting even when they're working. Female strippers, they don't want to have sex. They're not there to have sex. They're not turned on. They're there to make money. Male strippers, they're there to fuck, and then they might make a little bit of money on the side. Because here's the thing. This is how our whole fucking society is built up. Men, when they go to strip clubs, they throw money at women. They bring money to throw at women so they'll come closer to them. Women, when they go to strip clubs, they don't bring money. Why the fuck would they bring money? They know if they're hot enough, the male stripper wants to fuck them. Even if he's like a 10 out of 10 rock hard abs, he's going to take you home if you're good looking enough. Why the fuck would I give him more money? Instead, I'm just going to be absolutely disgusting. I saw at least 10 women suck dick on stage. And that's a fact. You might be listening to that and going, nah, but I didn't. Elliot told me all the horrible stories about the what happens at male strip clubs and the shit that the women do to the guys. And I was like, yeah, you're bullshitting. You're fucking lying. Nah, that's not true. And then I went, and it's worse than that. Because, right, female strippers, no touching allowed. Male strippers, touching encouraged, sometimes even kind of forced, right? So they would get, basically, right, here's a scenario. Male stripper, he comes out on stage. I was backstage, so I wasn't watching the men strip. I had like a good view where I could stay at the back of the stage. I wouldn't have to look at the guy shaking his cock around. I could just look at the audience reaction. So that was kind of cool to see. Male stripper gets on stage, right? He puts a chair on the stage, and then he goes, where are all the bridesmaids, all the women who are about to get married next week? And then they all put their hands up and start screaming. And he goes, come on, get on stage for a lap dance. And then they all get on stage, and then one by one, they all line up. He gets one girl, he puts her in a chair, and then he starts giving her a lap dance. But it's not just a lap dance, right? Once again, this is the difference between female strippers, male strippers. Female strippers, she takes you to a private room where a security guard makes sure you don't touch her. And it's very private, and there's rules. Don't get weird, or this bouncer will kick the fuck out of you, right? Male stripper gets a woman, puts her on stage, no security, grabs her hands, puts it on his cock. And there was one specific move that happened throughout the night where the guy would get a towel, wrap it around like his ass, like he just got out of a shower, right? He'd wrap it around his waist and cover her head with it so that the crowd couldn't see what she was doing with her head, so nobody would judge her, and then he would put his cock in her face. And you can't even comprehend how many of them went for it. These are women about to get married. They weren't like the friends showing off to the bridesmaid going, look at me, I'm still single, I can be, oh, you can't, haha. No, these were the women that were getting married, and they were just full on sucking cock on stage in front of 500 people. I saw it. And that's the difference between men and women. Why am I talking about this? Oh, yeah, I did a show, right? I did a show that was right next to the Hens Nights, and just screaming, just fucking screaming, yelling. You could hear it through the walls. I'm trying to tell my dick jokes, and then next door there's 300 horny women screaming for cock. Do you understand how hard that is to make people focus on me and not that? Oh, that was rough. All right, guys. I think it's almost time for miscellaneous bit at the end. But before we do that, I don't want to do miscellaneous bit at the end today. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the bit before the bit. The bit before miscellaneous bit at the end, all right? This is the part where we talk about the sponsorships. This is the last ad read of the month. So if you were thinking about picking up a watch from Risk Society, do it within the next couple of days, because I would like them to come back on board so that I can make a bit more cash to pay for these fucking podcast host costs. I'm going to stop complaining about how much money it costs in the next episode. Don't worry, I'm still getting over it. All right, so what's the number one compliment you'll receive this year? Oh, I don't know. If you're not wearing a watch, none. Because men are never complimented on anything. Anything. Never. Have you ever got a compliment on your shoes? No, you haven't, you lying cunt. No one's ever gone, hey man, nice shoes. I like your new jacket. That's fucking bullshit. You hallucinated that. You're only going to get compliments on a watch. And where do you get good watches from? Fucking Risk Society. Get a sick watch every month from Risk Society. They've gone viral multiple times on Reddit, whatever the fuck that means, and featured in GQ magazine's and they can't use grammar, all right? They've been featured on GQ magazine, which is some fucking men's fashion magazine. So, the media would never lie to you, would they? These watches are some top shit, all right? Fucking Risk Society is shaking up the overpriced watch industry by offering a new watch every month, starting at $29 a month. And best of all, they ship worldwide, globally, across the fucking planet. So get one before Mother Earth rises up and takes out the postal service. Use code SUNDAYS to receive 10% off, and go to my special link, wristsociety/Lou. Not Wristy Society, that's a handjob porn website. wristsociety.com/Lou. These guys are actually really cool, and they do have watches. You get it, basically, you get a new watch every fucking month. They send it to you, you put it on, and then everybody around you goes, shit, that dude's making a lot of money. He has a new watch all the time. And it's all bullshit. That's what it's all about. Pretending that you're better than you are. So check out wristsociety.com/Lou and then sign up there. You use the code Sundays and you get 10% off, and you get watches, a watch every month. That's a fucking cool thing. I should do it. I've only got one watch and it doesn't even tick. Maybe I'll sign up to Risk Society. But check out their website. You can see all of the watches, wristsociety.com/Lou. All right, let's get into the questions. Shall we? Okay. Hi, Lewis. My name is Michael. Hey, Michael, how you going? Also, you're amazing and one of the best comedians out there. I can't wait to see you get big. Well, don't tell me that. Tell your friends, all right? You know what I hate on YouTube? When cunts are like, oh, this guy deserves so many more subscribers. Oh, you're so underrated. Oh, why aren't you bigger? I'll tell you why. Because you're telling me that I should be bigger. You're not telling your friends, are you? That's on you, not me. Tell your fucking mates about me and then I'll get bigger. Oh man, you're so underrated. You should be so much bigger, dude. Yeah, I know that. Don't tell me. I know more about me than you do, cunt. Tell your friends. All right. So, Michael, thanks for the kind words. Seriously, man, appreciate it. So basically, I'm 16 and living in the UK, and I've recently discovered 2 things. What are the 2 things you've discovered, you fucking archaeologist? I've discovered that I'm not picky when it comes to a hot body, so to say. So, okay, you like girls and guys. Okay, so you're a bisexual dude. Okay. So can you just be gay, dude? You're making it harder for us. All right? Pick a lane. Just be gay, man. Don't get in the way of all of the other guys who are desperately trying to get girls. You know how easy it is to fuck a dude? Just go and do that. And then leave the women. The problem is the women need to be more desperate. That's what I think needs to happen. The ratio, it needs to flip. I'm sick of hitting on girls, man. I want them to hit on me. All right? Have any of you ever been hit on by a woman? Ever? Seriously, try. I want you. If you're like seeing a girl, try and get, like, if you got a girlfriend, try and get her to flirt with you. And just watch her fail. Seriously, sit down with your girlfriend and go, hey, you know what would be kind of cool? I want to see you try and flirt with me. And they'll go, what do you mean you flirt with me? I don't know. I don't think I can do that. And they just don't know what to do because they've never done it. So, dude, just go and... we need a lot more guys out there sucking cock, is what I'm saying. So it evens up the ratio for the rest of us. I was listening to Dan Bilzerian talk about it, and how he got, fucking famous on Instagram with all the girls and shit. And literally, he was rich, and he wanted to fuck a lot of hot girls. So what he would do is he would invite 4 of his friends and 20 women to his mansion. And then all he would do is so basically we would just put the women in the opposite scenario where they outnumbered us and they had to compete with other girls to get with us, and it just made it way easier to get laid because the girls would compete with each other to get with us instead of the other way around, and then we didn't have to fight amongst each other. We didn't have to do any wingmanning shit. We didn't need 5 guys and a social scientist to figure out how to get a girl to give our mate her number. We just kind of sat there and talked amongst ourselves, and the girls came to us. That's all it is. There's more value. The women hold the value at the moment. That's what it is. We need to flip the whole economy over. So, dude, stop with this bi shit. Just go suck cock. All right. I'll read the rest of the email. All right, so this dude's bisexual, but my dad is the biggest homophobe I've ever seen in my entire life. That sucks, man. And it's not just a suspicion, he's very open about it. For example, there would be an ad or something on TV, and it would feature a gay couple, and he would visibly show his disgust for it. It sucks, doesn't it? I've been trying to figure out a way to tell him for a few months now, but every time I tell myself that I'm going to do it today, I convince myself that everything bad that could happen would happen. But to make this even easier, I love my dad. He's a great guy and a great father, and I want to keep the relationship we have now. So basically, I don't know what the fuck to do about this. Help, please. P.S. Please respond quickly because I've recently contracted syphilis thanks to the miscellaneous bit at the end. A lot of love for you. Thanks, Lou. All right, Michael. Yeah, this is a hard one. Because my dad's a little bit homophobic, but I'm not gay. But I don't think he hates them. I just think It's just how people grew up. Like, obviously, there are a lot of people that, but you say your dad. I think my dad's just a little bit weirded out about them. I don't think he hates them. Like, I think if he doesn't, like, he would never go, yuck, gay dude, get away from me. He just makes his little awkward comments. You know what I mean? I think that's just, gay people. I don't want to be gay. You know, that's his level. But your dad doesn't like him. Plus side, you got a good relationship with him. I think that there's no way to go about it. You just got to sit him down and go, hey, Dad, I like guys as well. I think you just need to sit him down like you're going to tell him about the birds and the bees, like you're going to give him the sex ed talk. You just go, hey, Dad, can I talk to you? It's really important. Get him alone. You know what? Here, okay, go bowling with him. You got to do something with him first, right? Go bowling, go see a movie, do like a bonding manly activity. So, yeah, dude, so basically the opposite of what you should do is hey, Dad, I love cock, and then go finger painting with glitter, right? That's the opposite of what you want to do. Is you want to go like archery with him, like or rock climbing, or the movies, or bowling, or go to a fucking what sport do English people like? Go to your next competitive complaining about shit competitions. The cricket. You cunts like cricket. Go to a fucking sport game. Go to something manly that you and him both like, and don't mention it. And then when you get home after you've had a great day, sit him down and go, hey, Dad, I want to talk to you about something. And then he'll go, yeah, you want to talk about the sport? Then you go, no, I want to talk about how I could picture dick in me. But no, you know what I mean? Like, go and do something with him that you would both enjoy and bond with him over it. And then just after that, sit him down and seriously tell him, hey, I want you to know that I like men and women. And then, I don't know, you're just going to have that conversation. Because you have a good relationship with him. And it sounds like he's, I don't know, I can't really make too much of a judgment about your dad because you haven't told me too much about him, but he's disgusted by gay sex. And I'll tell you straight up, so am I. It's gross. If I didn't think it was gross, I would be all for it. But I don't hate gay people. Do you know what I mean? Like two gay men walking down the street holding hands. That's great. That's awesome. Good on him. I love gay love. Go for it. But if I walked in and I saw those same guys drilling each other in the ass, I'd be like, oh, yuck, that's gross. Because if I didn't think that, I'd be into it. And I imagine that gay dudes feel the same way about two women having sex. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'd see a couple of lesbians and they go holding hands. They'd be like, oh, yeah, awesome, gay love, that's sick. But then they'd walk in on those same two lesbians scissoring the fuck out of each other. And they go, ugh, yuck, that's gross. So I think that some people just have that, they confuse that feeling with hating gays. Do you know what I mean? Like it's basically the same reaction as if, I don't know, I saw a couple of obese midgets fucking. I imagine I would feel the same way, the same level of grossed outness as if I saw two men fucking, because that's just so not what I'm into. It's like the opposite of what I like. I don't like obese midgets fucking. I like regular sized girls going at it. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose you could maybe be misinterpreting his uncomfortableness with hate, because hatred is real hard to overcome. Like, honest, I hate gay people. That's super hard to overcome. But I'm weirded out by gay people. That usually comes from like just they're not very educated about it. They don't have very much experience with normal, regular gay dudes who just are a cool guy who happens to like dick. Do you know what I mean? So I think disgust is something that can be overcome. Hatred is a lot harder. Do you see where I'm going with that? So I think that if your dad is just grossed out by gay dudes holding hands or kissing or whatever, he can get over that, especially if he has to do it for his son, who he sounds like he's got a good relationship with him. So yeah, I would just do something nice with him and then sit him down and have that fucking conversation. It's going to be awkward. There's no way around it. It's gonna be awkward. It was, I had the same feelings when I was like, hey, mum, I want to take girls home to my bedroom. I had that same awkward, like, obviously it's different because, she doesn't hate straight people, but it's an unavoidably awkward conversation. So you just got to have it. All right. So there you go, mate. That's about all. I don't have time for another question. I don't want to ramble on for another 20 minutes. Good luck. Give me an update, bro. If anybody else would like to send, have any of you guys had that conversation with your parents? The I'm gay or I'm a lesbian or I'm bi conversation. Have you had that? Send it in to me. I want to hear about it. podcast@losespears.com. Or if you have any life advice that needs addressing, send it through to podcast@losespears.com. That's the new one. If you sent an email to the old email address recently, resend it to podcast@losespears.com. Put in the subject line a little bit of a summary so I can easily locate and remember them. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Support the show on Patreon and you get early access to them. I'm uploading this one on Saturday, so the Patreon people hear it on Saturday. Everyone else gets it on Sunday. Check out risksociety.com/Lou and keep it in. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, since this asthma thing happened, it might happen again. A lot of people don't know this, but asthma inhalers, you don't need it in Australia. You don't need a prescription for them anymore. You can actually buy them just over the counter. A lot of people think you need a prescription for them, and you used to, but you don't anymore. Anybody can buy them because anybody can struggle with asthma. So just go to a pharmacy. I think every household should have one because these things, they do happen. If you smoke or if you went for a big run or if you just inhaled some dust, it happens, and I think they're important to have. So I think they're usually like $6. If you get the home brand one, and they work just as well as the big brand Ventolin shit. So yeah, that was my little PSA service for you cunts. I hope you don't. I hope your lungs don't close up and you die. Although, if you did, it would be a lot better than listening to miscellaneous bit at the end. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Have a shit one.